Welcome to Abuse Exposed, a podcast about the secret of abuse. Each episode, we deliver intriguing Christian and personal experiences on abuse and how to overcome it. The content is not intended to be a substitute for professional mental or medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified mental health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical or mental condition. Now, here's your host, live from Texas, ISpeakMotivate.
Hello, this is ISpeakMotivate, and welcome to episode 3, Victim Blaming, based on the Netflix documentary, The Trials of Gabriel Fernandez. And victim blaming occurs when the victim of a crime or any wrongful act is held entirely or partially at fault for the harm that befell them. The study of victimology seeks to mitigate the prejudice against victims and the perception that victims are in any way responsible for the actions of offenders. Now, this is the thing. We spoke about victim blaming in a little bit of, in episode 1 and episode 2, in which the actual police department put Gabriel Fernandez, this 8-year-old boy with bruises and burn marks, in the back of the police car and tried to scare him straight into stop lying, air quotes, because the mother said he was just getting bullied at school and he keeps on lying and saying it's us. Okay. Now, the dangers of victim blaming can lead to suicide or death, further abuse, okay? And as we see in the Gabriel Fernandez story, that's exactly what occurred. The worst case scenario being tortured and murdered because of people deciding to victim blame. Now, what are some examples of victim blaming? Here are some questions here. Did you do anything that could have been misinterpreted? Was there alcohol involved? Did you say anything back? You're making my life harder. Why'd you stay with them? You need to be more assertive. You're too sensitive. These type of things that are said to a victim encourages the abuse to continue. And I'm going to tell you why today. And that is because usually a victim is already being gaslit inside the home. They already have the isolation that is continuing to happen and the control. And so gaslighting is manipulating someone by psychological means into questioning their own sanity. For example, the abuser could say, "You're stupid," with all the malice in the world. And you say, "What did you call me?" And then, "Oh, I just called you beautiful." And then you're just questioning because you really felt like you heard stupid. But then if they said beautiful, yes, it was beautiful. I mean, maybe I'm just thinking negative, and that's how the abuse continues. You question your gut, and you question your identity, and that is how the abuser destroys you. It usually occurs psychologically, emotionally, verbally, spiritually, financial abuse first, and then the physical, or it's just all intertwined. But this usually occurs to make sure that the victim has no independence at all, to break them down from the inside out. And so while this is happening in the home, consistently lying to the victim and acting as if it's true. So guess what? They don't the victim really doesn't have a gut feeling anymore. They just depend on what people externally say, and they don't focus within anymore, which is a very dangerous thing, and it's what the abuser wants. So now, when we go into a victim reaching out to someone saying he or she hit me, they hurt me, and then someone responds, "Oh yeah, you kind of have a smart mouth. Do you think it's because you said something out the way? Because I know you say stuff out the way. Or I know you cry a lot. Are you sure you're not just being too sensitive about what they said?" That right there assists the abuser so much. Because now the victim's like, you know what? I'm the one that's messed up. It's increasing that low self-esteem reprogramming that the abuser was setting up for the beginning. So you're the accomplice. Okay? You're the accomplice to the abuse. And a lot of times after this, it is very hard for a victim to get out of it because they already feel like it's them. They already feel like they're the reason for being abused. So being a victim, you keep on trying to get, whether it's a partner or your parents, friend or whatever, to love you, to appreciate you. You want that love and appreciation. I'll do anything. It's me. I'm not. And you're consistently trying to reach a level of success that will finally please the abuser, and then everything will go back to normal once I finally reach it. But you know what? It will never occur. It will never occur. One of the things that really got me about the story is that the teacher was explaining that regardless of the abuse that occurred within the home, with the bruises on this baby's face, he still wanted to create a Mother's Day card, Mother's Day gifts for the mom, because the problem with the victim is not that they hate their abuser, is that they love them so much, regardless. And the thing with children and child abuse, their parents are their world. Okay? So when you're in an abusive household, this is your world. This is your framework. This is your foundation. So if that shatters, you have nothing and you feel like you are nothing. So when he put on his coupon, "I will be good," a huge indicator of him him being in the parentification process of, I must give all my emotional capabilities and to my mom to make sure she's okay. I don't matter. I have to make sure I'm good so my mom doesn't stress out. I have to do this, and being good in an abusive household is just doing everything the abuser says and still get abused without saying, without crying, without saying it to, reporting it to anyone else. That's being good. Taking emotional, verbal, psychological abuse without rebuttal, that is being good in an abusive household. So the most dangerous thing one can do is to blame the victim in any hint of the way. Are you sure? It's a huge question that breaks the spirit down of the victim. Because they had a little part of them, the little part that the abuser didn't take away, that something's wrong. The spirit in them It's saying, you know what? God's saying, this is not right. I don't have peace. I don't have peace about this. That one part of their spirit that's like, something's wrong. Let me speak to someone about it. You smash it down. You stomp it down into the ground. And then they feel as if they don't have nothing. They don't have anything inside of themselves. They don't have anything inside of the home. And then they don't have a community to go to. Now, the reason why there's a lot of victim blaming is because people are usually a mutual friend, family member, co-worker, community member, friend, whatever, to the abuser. So, because of said relationship, business relationship, friendship, because they're biologically, connected, that I must question the victim because they can't possibly do that. They can't possibly do this. When I see them, they're always giving. They're so sweet. They're so loving in public. They're giving to the homeless. They're doing this and that. Well, that's a part of the plan. That's their mask that they must have towards the community. Because would it make much sense to be a monster in public? Would that benefit them at all? No, it would not. It would not benefit them to be a monster in public, because then it's easier to be detected of being an abuser then. So of course I am serving in church and charities and schools, at work. I'm giving, I'm loving, I'm portraying a positive persona. Why? Because at home I make sure it's a house of horrors for whoever comes in. Okay? And this is a situation that people don't understand why victim blaming is so detrimental. Do not do it. Even if you have your doubts, do not verbally say them. Be in support. Because a victim already feels like they're nothing. They feel like everything they think is idiotic and they shouldn't be thinking at all. At a point of brainwashing with an abuser, you don't know what you like to eat. You don't know what your favorite color is. You don't know what you want to do in life as far as a career or passion. You don't know, because the abuser the whole time tells you what you like. So when someone externally affirms and confirms what the abuser says in some type of way, oh yeah, you're sensitive. And once they're behind closed doors and the abuser say you're stupid and idiotic, and then say you're sensitive, and then they go out to reach out for help, and you say, oh yeah, you're sensitive, you cry a lot, and you kind of need to work on that. Maybe that's what's going on in your relationship. Then what happens? The victim totally shuts down, and it's like, wow, it really is me. I really am the cause of all of this. This abuse is truly my fault. And they fall deeper into the black hole of abuse, the cycle of abuse. The torture continues daily. They continuously lose themselves and have no identity. The abuser wants you to have no identity. They want you to be a reflection of what they make you. They thrive on control. They love it. Very parasitic. They want everything from you and will give nothing in return except pain and horror. So, make sure when someone comes to you pleading, regardless if it's a family member or friend, worse. Piss